Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm shooting this video on March 16th, 2024. I'm shooting this video now and posting it later because I don't want the essence of what the epiphany I had to be lost, right? So I want to speak to it into the camera, right? And for you guys. And I'm saving it because I want to make make it to where I want to make it before I send it, right? Because otherwise, everything that anybody can say is all air until it's proven, right? And so I don't want to spew out air without having anything to back um, what I'm saying, right? And what I'm saying is, um, what I'm saying is that I had an epiphany about myself. Okay, that was how my personality is, especially when it comes to this market, but not just the market, kind of everything in life. And here's the thing: I was sitting here thinking about why why am I so like hyper focused on planning and the details and stuff like that, right? Um, and this is rooted from like me and my wife talking about like our hobbies and just you know what brings us joy, or like we're kind of ADD, so it's like what do we hyper fixate on in order to like drown out the noise? Because if you're ADD, ADHD, or whatever, you kind of know that your brain gets kind of scattered, and it's kind of hard to kind of zone in, and that's why people that with ADD, they procrastinate, or they're looking for um, like distractions, and it's just they gotta like kind of keep moving. But anyway, like that's kind of who I am. Um, but it dawned on me, like my wife, she's really big into like artsy stuff. We're all artists in my household. We're pretty good. Well, we just like it. But she likes the like the sewing, not the sewing, but like the stitching, and the diamond arts and all that stuff, right? All the stuff that requires like a little like hyper focus attention to detail, and I absolutely hate it. Like I just like, oh, it's like, what's the result in that? Like, you're just kind of putting pre-existing pieces together. It's like a puzzle, and I don't like it. So but for me, I kind of get lost into like a budgeting, or one second, I'll edit this out. um, I get I get hyper focused into like budgeting or planning, like future planning, stuff like that. So I started talking about like how I can see the big picture. Like I have a vision of like what like a future looks like for me, for us, right? I've had this like since I was a kid, like from the time I was like 12 years old. I kind of had a roadmap as far as where I wanted to be in my life, and I just always thought that way. So when I get lost, or if my head gets too noisy, I I kind of like go crawl into a cave, like where I hyper focus on. It could be our budget, it could be 1 year, 5 year, 10 year planning. Like it could be anything like that requires like that type of like detail as far as like your life plans or whatnot, right? Or how you can improve your life, right? So, and I could have just done the budget 2 weeks ago, but in my head, it's not ever really completed. So I said it was like it's kind of fluid. Like that's how my brain works. So what I did, like out of just like blurting out information, like and not really thinking about so much how I think, I tried to figure out how my brain works. And there's a lot of stuff you just kind of you just kind of go with the flow. Like you either get it or you don't. As far as the people that surrounding you, you know you're either cool with me or not. I am who I am. I kind of free flowing dude, like kind of like inconsistent. But one thing is clear. One thing is consistent, that My family is very important to me, and the future of my family is very important to me. So like, there is a north star to everything that I do. So like, my brain can be scattered, but at the same time, like they all have the same common goal, like all the ideas or all the planning or whatever. Um, but it just a weird way of getting there, right? Well, this translates into the stock market. The problem with the stock market is that the journey is a little bit more in your face. Your consequences are like right there. Like you mess up in the stock market, there's red. You do great in the stock market, or there's green. It tells you instantly about you, right? And that's why I have not quit the stock market, because I've learned so much about myself, and it just tonight, like I just learned more about me that I didn't really think about. So I went on with this conversation, and I ended up having an analogy, and it just flowed out as if it's been there. Like, but I was trying to explain how my brain works and why it makes sense to me, to my wife. Um, and then I pretty much said, well, do you understand the concept of an architect, right? Well, an architect is a planner. They sit down in their rooms with a big sheet of paper or AutoCAD, and they draw up the perfect plan for the best looking skyscrapers, right? Like, so, I mean, you're talking like the most amazing buildings ever built, right? These guys, their brains, like they are constantly like thinking about how to make the perfect plan, so perfect that they can give that plan to someone else, and that person could read it like it's elementary, like it's grade level work, and say, oh, I know what to do. Put that there, build this on top of that, and use this, da, 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 da. Here's your building. Boom, done. That's the builder. And what I've noticed is that I'm an architect and I'm a builder. So you think, okay, well, where are you going with this? Like, what's the difference? Okay. Well, in the stock market, right? Screw the stock market, just in general. An architect, if the architect gives the blueprint to the builder, the building will be built, right? To the exact configurations that the architect designed it, right? If the builder starts to build without the blueprint, then the building will never get built, or the building would be built wrong and come crashing down on his head. So the builder, by going in alone, is like going into the stock market with no plan. And that's pretty much gambling, right? You're just like, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna put some money on this, and Jesus take the wheel, right? Or hey, if I keep doing this, right? If I keep chasing this, whatever, it's bound to turn around, right? That's what the builder is. The builders, I identify pros and cons to these guys too. So the builders, the pro is the completion of the work, right? His ability to follow the plan of an architect to the letter, right? The con is that he's unable to build a perfect structure without the proper plan. If he were to build it without the plan, the building crumbles, or it doesn't work out, right? The joy from the builder, from completing the work, right, to the T or to the letter of the architect, is the instant gratification or the completion of the building. And in the stock market, it's the instant gratification of winning or losing, but knowing that you followed the plan, and you're losing less than you're winning, right? So that's the builder. The architect, This is where my brain kind of gets screwy, right? I'm a planner, right? I have plenty of friends and family members that look to me for advice, and I love everybody so much, and I want nothing but the best for anybody that's in my life. I don't care if you're, um, I don't have any enemies, but I don't care if you don't like me or whatever. I mean, or if we just don't, we don't mix, but we know each other. If you were to come to me open arms, I'm here for you. I'm not, no judgment, right? Like that's just who I am by nature. And for my friends that, or associates or whatever that don't know that, you don't know me because that's who I am. Right. But anyway, I'm the planner. I'm a guy that can look at the big picture and piece together something and then write it out and then send you on your way. I can do that. And nobody's plan is perfect, but I have a resume now of giving good advice or writing up plans and then watching people follow that plan and kill it, rather it's the stock market, rather it's life goals, rather that's like education, that's like whatever it could be, rather it's family oriented, job oriented, whatever it may be. I've seen it in multiple categories where my thought process worked for someone else, right? Perfect plan. And I also learned about me that there's nothing aside from my wife and kids, really, but my family, but like what brings me joy is watching my plan work for someone and then seeing the result of their efforts for putting in the work and following that plan. Seeing somebody succeed because of my assistance brings me so much happiness. And again, I don't care who you are. I talk to strangers, you guys, the community, almost daily. Tens of thousands of you I've been talking to for the past several years. And I've seen a lot of people grow and I've seen a lot of people come and go, right? And every time I see somebody win off of a play I wrote, like super pumped, right? Super happy for that person. And I think that will always be in my character. I like to see people win. Now, here's where the architect is tricky, right? I can write a good plan, right? I know it. But the architect can write a plan, but the architect can't build a building. And here's why. If you put an architect in on the foundation, let's say, of the grounds of where he's supposed to build this skyscraper up, and you just tell them to go to work, just plan and build, plan and build. The building will never get built. Why? Because in the mind of an architect, a planner, everything's fluid. That's how like my brain operates. That's why I'm always looking at my budget and I'm always looking at our goals, because in my head there's always room for little tweaks of improvement. That's just by nature who I am. Okay. So if you put an architect in the building, either by himself or with the builder, the building will never get built, because the architect will always be not trying to, but he'll always see opportunity for things to be adjusted or tweaked or what have you, when the plan was perfect from the jump. So my problem has been my inability to follow my own plans, specifically when it comes to the stock market. Real life, sort of too, but real life, time is on my side, right? There's a little bit more forgiveness there. I can make adjustments in you get it. But in the stock market, you get smoked, right? It's important for me to identify that. So let me get into the pros and cons of the architect, right? So the pros: the ability to write the perfect plan, and hand it over to a builder to get the optimal result he's looking for, the perfect building. Con is the inability to build based off his plan. Why? Because the building will never get built. Because his brain is fluid. Plans are forever changing. His joy is seeing his plan unfold either to perfection or just to the result, the overall vision that he imagined or he envisioned. That brings the architect joy. So I sat there and I thought to myself, like, I just had a moment. I was able to define something, acknowledge it, and come to the reality that I'm either the architect or the builder. And a lot of times I'm just the wrong guy at the wrong time, or one guy knocks it on the door, and the things are, here's the change. So here's the builder building everything, right? The design is made. Architect gave the builder the play. The builder starts building everything up, right? Build. Like in the stock market, you start win. You get a quarter of the way there. I mean, so it means like you got a fair amount of gains or whatever. And then the architect comes in and says, yeah, we're gonna change that. We're gonna change that. You gotta cut that out. Let's add this. Right? Now get out of the way. Let me do it. Right? That has been a recipe for disaster for me. I'll write a plan. I will share with the community, right? And I go into the play as an architect instead of a builder. And I think I see something, right? And I make a change, or I don't, or I choose not to get in, or whatever. I make just decisions. Like everything, my brain is chaotic. Like, right? Like I'm in it. Like, when you're an artist, sometimes you take a step back, right? And then you can see the entire canvas. But when you're an architect that gets too close to the painting, where you get too close to the canvas, you lose sight of the bigger picture. So I've been an architect that's been going in and getting in too close to the painting, to the market, whatever in life, just instead of, hey, I drew up the play. Trust that those blueprints are legit. All right, give it to the builder. I've not never, but most of the time I'm the architect 100% of the time. Instead of passing the keys, passing the blueprint over to the builder and letting him just run the play as it's been drawn. That's been my biggest crutch in the stock market. Okay, so now I'm shooting this video because I want to say what I'm going to do, and hopefully that I do it, right? And that's why I'm holding it back until I've done it, and then I'll share it. But I'm going to sit there and I'm ask myself, am I the builder or am I the architect? When I'm sitting in front of my computer, the stock market, we're trading live. I sit there and I look, either I made a mistake already, or I'm about to get into my first trade. I need to first ask myself, am I the builder? And if I'm the builder, then I need to ask myself, did I receive the blueprint from the architect? Right? What does that mean? Did I write the play before I just hopped in my seat or picked up my phone and jumped into this contract or whatever it may be? Or am I just waking up, crud on my eyes? I'm just gonna load up my computer, look at my phone, lay down, fresh out of bed, fresh in bed, right? Morning breath, whatever, right? And then I'm just gonna wing it, gamble. That's not good. Now, if the builder received the blueprints, if you ask are you the builder? Yeah, I'm the builder. Okay. Did you receive the blueprints? Did you talk to the architect before you're about to start building? And if the answer is yes, then that's great. You're set up perfectly for the trading day. You say, I got the blueprints. I know exactly what to do. Now, as a builder, all you have to do is stick to that plan and lock the damn door once the door is built. And make sure that architect doesn't step foot in there. Because if you let the architect into the building that you've already started building, then that guy is going to mess up all the plans. And everything that you've built is going to get burned. Progress is lost, or you plateau, whatever it may be. Okay. Now, on the flip side, if you say I'm the architect, then you have to ask yourself, did you pass the blueprints over to the builder? And is he ready to build? Or are you the architect? Did you write the blueprints? That's the natural answer. Yep. If you're an architect, you wrote the blueprints. And then you follow up that question is, okay, are you in the building? Or are you thinking about building the building? Then you need to stop. You need to pause. You need to say, yeah, I was going to build this as an architect, but yeah, it's probably not going to get done. I'm not in a headspace right now. This blueprint, this design is my baby, and I'm not ready for it to come to light. So it's gonna roll up my blueprint, and I'll just wait till tomorrow and see if I'm ready to give it to the builder. So if you're in that situation, if I'm in that situation, I need to really acknowledge that, because if I say I'm the architect sitting at the computer in the middle of a trading session, then that means I shouldn't be trading. An architect cannot trade. An architect can only write the play and get the hell out of the way. So, I say that to say this. If you're battling these issues like me, then hopefully this analogy helps you. And I'll tell you, when this came off the top of my dome, fluid, as if like I knew exactly what it is, or what I am, or how I function. And now I just really, really, really hope that by this acknowledgement, I am graced and blessed with the ability to not only identify who I am in whatever moment, whether it's the stock market or it's or if it's in real life, but be able to ask myself that question and have the willpower and the strength to say, not today. I'm an architect when I'm supposed to be a builder. Not today. I'm a builder when I'm supposed to be an architect. Not today. No, I can't do that. Got to do something else. My challenge is going to be getting ahead of it. One, because once you're in it, it's hard to get out of it. So like if you are an architect and you're in the trading session, you're too close to the canvas, you're too close to your work. You're too close to it. It's hard to escape. Architects, their brains are fluid. Their brains are chaotic. They're trying to get things out you know, because it's just so much in there. But like you can't take a step back and see whether or not you're doing something wrong until it's too late. It's not until it's too late that you sit back and you say, dang, I knew that. So important. I feel like it was the realest conversation I had with myself to my wife in a long time. But the ability to identify that and get out of that space is so important. I got to figure that out. It's like figuring out what's a distractor. What is something that I could use to pull myself out of it, remove myself from the situation? Because it's not as easy as just saying, oh, I'm gonna get up and walk away. Some of you, good, hats off to you. Some people are just better off than some other people. Some people are like me that struggle every day with certain situations. So if I figure out my trigger or figure out my scapegoat, if you say, I'll let you know following the video. I'm contemplating sending this out anyway because I feel like it's so important. And again, it's one of those situations where I can write a play and it can help so many people. And then I'm the one that's left, like not holding the bag, but like still writing another play. Not instead of being the builder after writing the play. And yeah, I think I need to share it. I think I need to share this because it's another one of those situations that I feel like other people need to hear and I just need to do. But if I can get this out in advance and it helps somebody, then I'm happy for you. Again, writing a play and seeing somebody succeed from the plays I wrote, fuck man, excuse my French, just cut that out. I said fudge, man, okay? But that brings me joy all day, every day. So, hey, hopefully this helps you. Thanks for rocking with me. Thanks for taking the time, that 27 minutes to listen to this. Hopefully it wasn't a waste of your time. Hopefully you gained something from it. And if you did, if this is you, leave something in the comments, leave a nugget, tell me what's worked with you, especially if you identify with what I'm saying here, because there's not, if you're going through something, you're not just going through something alone. Somebody else is going through that 100%. So that's all I got. This is Stocks for Real. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, keep rocking with me on my journey. I'm going to get to where I want to be all day, every day. I know it, but getting through this right here is so important, but that's part of the grind. All right. And I'm here for it. Take care.